Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharina Nirvisesa Sanyavadi Pastatya Desatya Om Gyana Timirandasya Gyanandjana Shalakayan Chakshulun Militandjana Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Mano Vistam Stapitam Jayana Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadama Yudadati Swapadantika Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Siva Sari Gaura Bhakti Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Today we are taking our discussion from Krishna book chapter 15 of the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Killing of Dhenukasura. In this way, Sri Krishna, along with his elder brother Balaram, passed the childhood age, known as Kaumara, and stepped into the age of Pawaganda from the 6th age up to the 10th. In which way? Sukadeva Goswami said, in this way. So which way? This suggests that this is a continuation from a previous discussion. Now, Krishna had shown Lord Brahma his supreme position. Lord Brahma had fully understood it by the causeless mystery of Lord Krishna. And then he offered prayers to Lord Krishna, begging for forgiveness, having understood fully his tiny position and the supreme position of the supreme personality of the Lord Krishna. So Sukadeva Goswami continued. In the way Krishna had been performing his wonderful Vrindavan activities, Krishna, along with his elder brother Balaram, passed the childhood age known as Kaumara and stepped into the age of Pawaganda from the 6th year up to the 10th. At that time, all the cowhead men conferred and agreed to give those boys who had passed their 5th year charge with the cows in the pasturing ground. Given charge of the cows, Krishna and Balaram traversed Vrindavan, purifying the land with their footprints. That means that now Krishna and Balaram are heading cows, not calves. In the previous chapter, it was calf. That means Krishna was still under the age of 5. Now he has passed to the 6th age, the 6th year of age, Pawaganda. From Kaumara to Pawaganda. Lord Krishna has benedicted Mother Earth by decorating her head with the footprint of his lotus feet. What a great surprise, what a great message, what a great fortune. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is placing his lotus feet on the head of Mother Bhumi. Just as Maitreya Muni described to us that the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, is placed on the lap of Vidura. The lap of Vidura is the resting place of the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here, Krishna is every day decorating the head of Bhumi with his footprints. Accompanied by the cowherd boys and Balaram, Krishna brought forward the cows and played on his flute through the forest Vrindavan, which was full of flowers, vegetables, and pasturing grass. The Vrindavan forest was as sanctified as the clay mind of a devotee, and it was full of bees, flowers, and fruits. There were chirping birds and clear water lakes with waters that could relieve one of all fatigues. Sweet flavored breezes blew always, refreshing the mind and body. Krishna with his friends and Balaram entered the forest and, seeing the favorable situation, enjoyed the atmosphere to the fullest extent. Krishna saw all the trees overloaded with fruits and fresh twigs coming down to touch the ground as if welcoming him by touching his lotus feet. He was very pleased by the behavior of the trees, fruits, and flowers, and he began to smile, realizing their desires. Sukadeva Goswami said, sweet flavored breezes blew always, refreshing the mind and body. And Krishna, with his friends and Balaram, entered the forest and, seeing the favorable situation, enjoyed the atmosphere to the fullest extent. Krishna saw all the trees overloaded with fruits and fresh twigs coming down to touch the ground as if welcoming him by touching his lotus feet. As if welcoming him. They are actually welcoming Krishna. Because they are all great sages and great devotees in the past. The great devotees of Lord Krishna. Therefore, it is natural for them to welcome Krishna happily with their fruits, just to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, Krishna was very pleased by the behavior of the trees, fruits, and flowers, and he began to smile, realizing their desires. Krishna then spoke to his elder brother Balaram as follows. My dear brother, you are superior to all of us, and your lotus feet are worshipped by the demigods. Just see how these trees, full with fruits, have bent down to worship your lotus feet. It appears that they are trying to get out of the darkness of being obliged to accept the form of trees. Actually, the trees born in the land of Vrindavan are not ordinary living entities. Having held the impersonal point of view in their past lives, they are now put into this stationary condition of life. But now, they have the opportunity of seeing you in Vrindavan. And they are praying for further advancement in spiritual life through your personal association. Generally, the trees are living entities in a mode of darkness. The impersonalist philosophers are in that darkness, but they eradicate it by taking full advantage of your presence. I think the drones that are buzzing all around you must have been your favorite devotees in their past lives. They cannot leave your company because no one can be a better, more affectionate master than you. You are the supreme and original personality of Godhead, and the drones are just trying to spread their glories by chanting every moment. I think some of them must be great sages, devotees of your lordship, and they are disguising themselves in the form of drones because they are unable to give up their company even for a moment. My dear brother, you are the supreme worshipable Godhead. Just see how the peacocks in great ecstasy are dancing before you. The deer, whose behavior is just like the gopis, are welcoming you with the same affection. And the cuckoos, who are residing in this forest, are receiving you with great joy because they consider that your appearance is so auspicious in their home. Even though they are trees and animals, these residents of Vrindavan are glorifying you. They are prepared to welcome you to their best capacity, as is the practice of great souls in receiving another great soul at home. As for the land, it is so pious and fortunate that the footprints of your lotus feet are marking its body. It is quite natural for this Vrindavan inhabitant to thus receive a great personality like you. The herbs, creepers, and plants are also so fortunate to touch your lotus feet. And by your touching the twigs with your hands, these small plants are also made glorious. As for the hills and the rivers, they are now glorious because you are glancing at them. Above all, the damsels of Braj, the gopis, attracted by your beauty, are the most glorious because you embrace them with your strong arms. In this way, both Lord Krishna and Balaram began to enjoy the residents of Vrindavan to their full satisfaction, along with the calves and cows on the bank of the Jamuna. In some places, both Krishna and Balaram were accompanied by the friends. The boys were singing, imitating the humming sound of the drones, and accompanying Krishna and Balaram, who were garlanded with forest flowers. While walking, the boys sometimes imitated the quacking sound of the swans in the lakes. Or when they saw the peacocks dancing, they imitated them before Krishna. Krishna also moved his neck, imitating the dancing and making his friends laugh. What a great fortune! And who can understand that this is the activity of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? In the forest, full of trees, fruits, and flowers, Lord Krishna is appreciating his devotees, glorifying their wonderful devotion and service to him. While the yogis are sitting on top of ice in the Himalayas, squeezing their nose, the Brajabasis are simply enjoying the presence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, taking Lord Krishna deep into their heart. They consider there is nothing but Krishna as the life and soul. In this way, they are mocking at the impersonalists and the yogis or the karmis who were simply selfish and engrossed in sense gratification, without assurance of their success. So Krishna and Balaram, with their cowhead boyfriends, are enjoying the association of their devotees in the forest of Vrindavan. So Vrindavan is the best, because their love for Krishna is supreme in Vrindavan. The cows taken charge of by Krishna had different names, and Krishna will call them with love. After hearing Krishna calling, the cows will immediately respond by mooing. And the boys will enjoy this exchange to their heart's content. They will all imitate the sound vibrations made by the different kinds of birds, especially the chakoras, peacocks, cuckoo, and bharadwajas. Sometimes when they will see the weaker animals fleeing out of fear of the sounds of tigers and lions, the boys, along with Krishna and Balaram, will imitate the animals and run away with them. When they feel some fatigue, they will sit down, and Balaram will put his head on the lap of one of the boys just to take rest. And Krishna will immediately come and begin massaging the legs of Balaram. And sometimes he will take a palm fan and fan the body of Balaram, causing a pleasing breeze to relieve him of his fatigue. Other boys will sometimes dance or sing while Balaram took rest. And sometimes they will wrestle amongst themselves or jump. When the boys were thus engaged, Krishna will immediately join them. And catching their hands, he will enjoy their company and laugh and praise activities. When Krishna will feel tired and fatigued, he will sometimes take shelter of the root of a big tree or the lap of a cowhead boy and lie down. When he will lie down with a boy or a root as his pillow, some of the boys will come and massage his legs, and some will fan his body with a fan made from leaves. Some of the more talented boys will give in very sweet voices to please him. Some of the more talented boys will sing in very sweet voices to please him. Thus, very soon, his fatigue will go away. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, whose legs are tended by the goddess of fortune, shared himself with the cowhead boys as one of them, expanding his external potency to appear exactly like a village boy. But despite his appearing just like a village boy, there were occasions when he proved himself to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sometimes men pose themselves as the Supreme Personality of Godhead and cheat innocent people, but they can only cheat. They cannot exhibit the potency of God. Although Krishna is playing the pastime of a cowhead boy, Krishna is still the Supreme Personality of Godhead in all circumstances, either small, big, or whatever. He is still the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he can do anything in all circumstances. That is the position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even though Krishna is very obedient to his devotees, at the same time we see that Krishna still maintains his independence whenever it is necessary. That is Krishna. As a little boy, just on the lap of his mother, or just few months of his appearance, Krishna has started killing demons. And the demons are mighty, formidable personalities. When Krishna killed Agasura, Sukadeva Goswami said Agasura's mouth, the upper lip of Agasura was touching the sky, and the lower was just on the ground. Can we imagine the height of Agasura? It was miles away on its length, just like Putana. Putana was 12 miles long in height. And Krishna was just 3 months. So Krishna killed Agasura when he's just 5 months, in 5 years. Just 5 years. So it's a mighty demon that was frightening everybody, including the demigods. The demigods were constantly chanting, when will Agasura be killed? When will Agasura be killed? Oh, when will Agasura be killed? And Krishna killed Agasura effortlessly. No exhaustion. That is the supreme pursuit of Godhead. So Prabhupada said here, common people can only cheat, but they cannot demonstrate the power of the supreme pursuit of Godhead, as Krishna did. Krishna acted fully independent of every situation, and at the same time he played his role as a cowherd boy who had come to entertain the world in order to reclaim the conditioned souls who are suffering in this material world. Therefore, we should be intelligent enough to understand ordinary mystic yogi, a jiva who is a yogi or has mystic power from the power of the supreme personality of Godhead. Even demigods who give validation to a jiva that has power to display cannot perform up to the level of Krishna. Krishna lifted Govardhan here. No demigod can do that. Only Krishna can do it. No demigod has the power to do that. Not even Brahma. Although Brahma has the power to do wonderful activities, Lord Shiva has power to do wonderful activities. They cannot lift the Govardhan hill like Krishna did. Krishna was just a boy when he did all these wonderful activities. Therefore, Krishna remained the supreme personality of God in all circumstances, and his position cannot be challenged. And all the demons who tried to do that were easily killed by Lord Krishna to show his supremacy above everything and everyone. While Krishna was thus engaged in exhibiting his internal potency along with the supermost fortunate friends, there occurred another chance for him to exhibit the superhuman powers of God. His most intimate friends, Siddhama, Subal, and Stoka Krishna began to address Krishna and Balaram with great love and affection thus. Dear Balaram, you are very powerful. Your arms are very strong. Dear Krishna, You are very expert in killing all kinds of disturbing demons. Well, you kindly note that just near this place there is a big forest of the name Talavan. This forest is full of palm trees, and all the trees are filled with fruits. Some are falling down, and some of them are very ripe, even in the trees. It is a very nice place, but because of a great demon, Dhenukasura, it is very difficult to go there. No one can reach the trees or collect the fruits. Dear Krishna and Balaram, this demon is present there in the form of an ass, and he is surrounded by similar demon friends who assume the same shape. All of them are very strong, so it is very difficult to approach this place. Dear brothers, you are the only persons who can kill such demons. Other than you, no one can go there for fear of being killed. Not even animals go there. And no bears are sleeping there. They have all left. One can only appreciate the sweet aroma of that. One can appreciate the aroma that is coming from that place, but no one can go there in fear of the Dhenukasura and his associates. It appears that up till now, no one has tasted the sweet fruits there, either on the tree or on the ground. Dear Krishna, to tell you frankly, we are very attracted by this sweet aroma. Dear Balaram, let us all go there and enjoy these fruits. The aroma of the fruit is now spread everywhere. Don't you smell it from here? The friends are instigating Krishna and Balaram by describing the beauty. Although they are requesting Krishna and Balaram to kill the demon and allow them to taste the fruit, they are at the same time instigating Krishna to kill the demon, the Dhenukasura, and allow them the chance to taste the fruit that is in Talavan by describing the sweet aroma and directly telling Krishna, don't you smell it from here? We are not just talking, we are not just flattering you. From where we are, the aroma is coming here, inviting us. Please let us go there. Kill the demon and give us freedom to enjoy the food that has been laid waste. No birds can take it, no animal can take it, and no human beings can take it. So what did they use of having such a wonderful fruit, which nature has given? When Balaram and Krishna were those petitioned by their smiling, intimate friends, they were inclined to please them, and they began to proceed towards the forest, surrounded by all their friends. Immediately upon entering the Talavan, Balaram began to yank the trees with his arms, exhibiting the strength of an elephant. Because of this jerking, all the ripe fruit fell down on the ground. Upon hearing the sound of the falling fruits, the demon Dhenukasura, who was living there in the form of an ass, began to approach with great force, shaking the whole field so that all the trees began to move as if they were an earthquake. The demon appeared first before Balaram and began to kick his chest with his hind legs. At first, Balaram did not say anything, but the demon with great anger began to kick him again more vehemently. This time, Balaram immediately caught hold of the legs of the ass with one hand and, wheeling him around, threw him into the treetops. While he was being wheeled around by Balaram, the demon lost his life. Balaram threw the demon into the biggest palm tree about, and the demon's body was so heavy that the palm tree fell upon other trees and several trees down. It appeared as if a great hurricane had passed through the forest, and all the trees were falling down one after another. This exhibition of extraordinary strength is not astonishing because because Balaram is the personality of Godhead, known as Ananta Seshanaga, who is holding all the planet on the hooves of his millions of heads. The whole cosmic manifestation is maintained by him exactly as two threads hold the weaving of a cloth. After the demon was thrown into the trees, all the friends and associates of Dhenukasura immediately assembled and attacked Balaram and Krishna with great force. They were determined to retaliate and avenge the death of their friend. But Krishna and Balaram began to catch each of the asses by their hind legs, and exactly in the same way, wheel them around. Thus they killed all of them by throwing them into the palm trees. Because of the dead bodies of the trees, there was a panoramic scene. It appeared as if clouds of various clouds were assembled in the trees. Hearing of this great incident, the demigods from the higher planet began to shower flowers on Krishna and Balaram and began to beat their drums and offer devotional prayers. A few days after the killing of Dhenukasura, people began to come into the Taliban forest to collect the fruits, and animals began to return without fear to feed on the nice grasses grown there. Just by chanting or hearing these transcendental activities and pastimes of the brothers Krishna and Balaram, one can amass pious activities. And Krishna did not kill the Dhenukasura because Krishna had given the blessing to Prahlad Maharaj that he would not kill anyone from his family. And Dhenukasura happens to come from the family of Prahlad Maharaj. Therefore, Krishna did not personally kill him. He allowed Balaram to do that. And after that, now Krishna participated in killing other demons associated with Dhenukasura. So in this way, they killed all the demons who were disturbing the Dhenukasura and disturbing the Taliban forest. And now all the animals, the birds, are now very free to enter Taliban forest and peacefully live there. So Krishna came to create a peaceful situation for his devotees by killing the demons. And that Krishna is perfectly demonstrating here. Like he said in Bhagavad Gita, Paritanaya sadhunam vinasya duskritam. After killing the Dhenukasura, removing the demons, what is that? A few days after the killing of the Dhenukasura, people began to come into the Talaban forest to collect the fruits. And animals began to return without fear to feed on the nice grasses grown there, just by chanting or hearing these transcendental activities and pastimes of the brothers. Krishna and Balaram, one can amass pious activities. To hear the pastimes of Krishna and Balaram, so auspicious that one can attain purity to go back to Godhead. So Krishna had removed the burden, ass, and giving peace to his devotees, that now they can come to Talaban forest and enjoy the nature as it was meant for. When Krishna, Balaram, and their friends entered the village of Vrindavan, they played their flutes, and the boys praised their uncommon activities in the forest. Their faces were decorated with tilak and smeared with the dust raised by the cows. And Krishna's head was decorated with a peacock feather. Both he and Balaram played their flutes, and the young gopis were joyous to see Krishna returning home. All the gopis in Vrindavan remained very morose on account of Krishna's absence. All day they were thinking of Krishna in the forest or of him herding cows in the pasture. When they saw Krishna returning, all their anxieties were immediately relieved, and they began to look at his face the way drones hover over the honey of the lotus flower. When Krishna entered the village, the young gopis smiled and laughed. Krishna, while playing the flute, enjoyed the beautiful smiling faces of the gopis. So Sukadeva Goswami said, all the gopis in Vrindavan remained very morose on account of Krishna's absence. All day they were thinking of Krishna in the forest or of him herding cows in the pasture. So, is it true that we are morose? And is it true also that they were morose due to Krishna's absence? Can the gopis be absent from Krishna? And can they be also morose? Long time ago, the sages gathered together to discuss. The topic of discussion was, can a person who is fully surrendered to Krishna 24 hours, constantly thinking of Krishna and serving Krishna with love and affection, be an anxiety? Certainly not. Emphatically not. Well, Sukadeva Goswami said here, all the gopis in Vrindavan remained very morose on account of Krishna's absence. All day they were thinking of Krishna in the forest or of him herding cows in the pasture. This is interesting. If a devotee who is 100% surrounded to Krishna cannot be anxiety, why morose? And what is thinking of Krishna 24 hours means? This is Krishna's smarana. Thinking of Krishna while he's herding the cows in the forest. It's a direct association of Krishna. This is called smaranam. And smarana means the person whom we think of, or the object which you meditate upon, we are with that object or that person. So the gopis are constantly with Krishna. So let us try to understand this word, morose, and feeling Krishna's absence. There is nothing like that for the gopis. And can they be lie? No, it is not. Therefore, the moroseness or anxiety or the pure devotees of Krishna like gopis is an ecstasy. Like in Chaitanya Charitamrita, but Brenda Puri was in such a condition, externally lamenting, seriously, and an external neophyte, so-called devotee like Ramachandra Puri, who is an external devotee without understanding the divine position of his spiritual master, were trying to correct him. And he was cursed for that. But Ishwara Puri, who is an internal devotee, because an internal devotee is connected with the spiritual master internally, so he knows the inside and outside. He was pleased to see that his guru is a Premi Bhakta. Therefore, he supported him because he was connected. See, the gopis should not try to misunderstand this. The gopis are externally morose and feeling the absence of Krishna. But Krishna said, "Oh, my dear gopis, there is no question of separation between us. Separation does not exist, but because of viraha, which maintains prema, you are feeling like this." And Krishna concluded, if there is no viraha, then prema would have died untimely. So we shouldn't misunderstand pure devotees' lamentation. It is exhibition of their prema. Sri Mahaprabhu is falling down in ecstasy, lamenting, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Where is the Lord of my heart? I saw him and suddenly he disappeared. He was lamenting in the house of Suklambara Brahmachari when he called all the devotees together. Sri Mahaprabhu drowned the devotees who were present with him into his ecstasy that everybody fell unconscious. He took them with him because they were all internal devotees connected with him. So the experience Sri Chaitanya was having, he allowed all the devotees present in Sukulambara Brahmachari's house to feel it. So when he fell unconscious, all the devotees also fell unconscious and cried. And waves of Krishna praying overtook them, but they were drowned in that ocean, and tears of love God was flowing. So this is the situation of Krishna's pure devotees. When they saw Krishna returning, all their anxieties were immediately relieved, and they began to look at his face the way drones, however, hover over the honey or the lotus flower. When Krishna entered the village, the young gopis smiled and laughed. Krishna, while playing the flute, enjoyed the beautiful smiling faces of the gopis. When Krishna leaves to enter the forest, the gopis leave their body and follow Krishna. Externally, they are outside. They are they are in the house, but internally they are with Krishna in the forest. So when Krishna is coming back from the forest, the gopis come back to eternal consciousness and are smiling and laughing. And Krishna reciprocates with their love. When Krishna and Balaram were immediately received, then Krishna and Balaram were immediately received by their affectionate mothers, Yashoda and Rohini. And according to the time's demands, they began to fulfill the desires of their affectionate sons. Simultaneously, the mothers rendered service and bestowed benedictions upon their transcendental sons. They very nicely took care of their children by bathing and dressing them. Krishna was dressed in bluish garments and Balaram was dressed in a yellowish garments. Krishna was dressed in yellowish garments and Balaram on blue garments. And they were given all sorts of ornaments and flower garlands. Being relieved of the fatigue of their day's work in the pasturing ground, they looked refreshed and very beautiful. They were given palatable dishes by their mothers, and they pleasantly ate everything. After eating, they were seated nicely on clean bedding, and the mothers began to sing various songs of the activities. As soon as they sat down on the bedding, they very quietly fell fast asleep. In this way, Krishna and Balaram used to enjoy Vrindavan life as cowherd boys. Sometimes, Krishna used to go with his boyfriends and with Balaram. And sometimes, he used to go alone with his friends to the bank of the Jamuna and tend to the cows. Gradually, the summer season arrived. And one day, while in the field, the boys and cows became very thirsty and began to drink the water of the Jamuna. The river, however, was made poisonous by the venom of the great serpent known as Kaliya. Because the water was so poisonous, the boys and cows immediately visibly affected immediately after drinking. They suddenly fell down on the ground, apparently dead. Then Krishna, who is the life of all lives, simply cast his merciful glance over them, and all the boys and cows regained consciousness and began to look at one another with great astonishment. They could understand that by drinking the water of Jamuna, they had died, and that the merciful glance of Krishna restored their life. Thus, they appreciated the mystic power of Krishna, who is known as Yogeshwara, the master of all mystic yogis. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 15th chapter of Krishna, killing of Dhenukasura. Is there any question or comments?
Thank you so much, Gurudev. All devotees, please, if you have any questions or comments, you may ask Guru Maharaj directly. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. I don't think today there is any questions or comments. Uh,
All
so we'll
right.
so we'll end today's lecture here, and we'll come back next week with how Krishna chastised Kalia. We'll do the topic next Saturday.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. Thank you so much. Thank you, Srila Guru Maharaj, and thank you to all devotees for attending to this lecture. Thank you. Radhe Radhe.